All right, all right, all right. Welcome back to Becoming Boss. See, it has been a while, so it feels great to see you all. Today, we will discuss a new alternative to working from home. Who would have thought? As you come in, make sure that you like the video, you comment, and subscribe. Make sure you like the video, comment, and subscribe. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Here, I'm going to set up the video. All right, so today's topic, this is the article that I saw from the Wall Street Journal, which is really interesting. And it talks about an alternative to working from home, an alternative to walking or working from the office. Ooh, it's been a while, you all. It has been a while, but I'm glad to see you all back. This one is the hottest new office is the gym. I thought this was interesting. I saw this on LinkedIn, and then I watched read the full article on the Wall Street Journal, and I was like, I should discuss this one. This is an interesting one, and it's by Anne-Marie Shaker. So here we go. I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you all. Jessica DiGiovanna starts her Mondays at 6:30 a.m. with squats, deadlifts, and lunges at her local Lifetime gym. Afterward, she showers, gets dressed, and stays working on her laptop and phone until about 6 p.m. So this is not working from home, not working from the office, but this person is literally working from her fitness center or her gym. So interesting. Okay, her new office is a gym on the 4th floor in a co-working space scented with notes of bergamot and stocked with a basket of fruit and energy bars. So it seems convenient. They have food there. They probably have a refrigerator there. They probably have, water that's complimentary, I would assume. But she's working from the gym. She's not working from the office. She's not working from home. And it says, DiGiovanna, a 25-year-old audit project manager in Virginia, only goes to her real office for big meetings and other organized events. She doesn't like the isolation of just working home alone. So she signed up for listen to this, you all, a $499 a month membership package in July. $499. Now, they need to go ahead and just add that other dollar because we all know with tax, it's going to be well over $500. A $499 a month package to work out. That's probably not with a personal trainer. That's just working out at that facility, as well as having that co-working space. So essentially, she's paying for a gym membership and also leasing out a desk in the middle of this gym's office, which is probably on a different floor. It's very interesting. The price tag is high, she says, but the setup lets her toggle between self-care, her job in comfortable clothes without travel time and lost motivation. It is a third space, not work, not home, that puts her in an energizing environment without having to slog to the office. So yes, some people really love the gym, and the gym, from my experience, really does motivate you. It really does get your hormones going, get those endorphins floating around in your bodies and get you ready for the day. Gives you another boost of energy. So she feels like she likes working at the gym as well as working out at the gym. So why not do both around the same time in the same facility? It's very interesting. Then she says, by going into the space and not coming back home, I am going through these movements of the day more intentionally, she said. There is less distraction and I'm set up to work more efficiently. Gyms were once wary of letting the remote work masses zoom from their lobbies and locker rooms. Now they see opportunity in offering desks, offices, and outlets. Some are creating co working spaces to separate the extension cord wielders from the spandex crowd. Other gyms are charging extra and offering entire floors for clients to stay and work all day. Now, I will say it is smart of the gym, though, if you think about it. If the gym already has more than one floor, why not have a floor for just working out, or one or two floors for working out, where you have your yoga room, you have your treadmill area, your benching press area, all your ellipticals, etc. And then people can walk upstairs or walk downstairs and change into their more casual clothing, shower, all that, and just walk across the floor and go find a desk to sit at. And I do think this allows for people to not have to, especially if you're in a busy city, if you're in a busy city with a lot of commuting, a lot of traffic, if your office is way too far or in another town, I can see this as a good solution for not having to travel between your morning workout and your start of your office day or work day. All right, let's see. And it's smart on the gym's part too, because look, the gym is, they have to pay for the real estate one way or the other. They have to pay their mortgage or their rent every month. So they're making sure that they're getting utilization of their full office space, the gym area, as well as that extra area they could be utilizing as an office area. So kudos to them for being innovative and figuring out new ways to utilize their facilities. Co-working arrangements in which workers from different companies share office space for average monthly fees around $300 to $400 a desk. Wow. That's real money. $300 to $400 a desk. That's literally paying rent for like a small business space. But you're working out and you're getting a desk. But it says those co-working arrangements are facing market tumult. WeWork, I've heard of that business. WeWork, once one of the world's most valuable startups, has raised doubts about its own survival. Meanwhile, cafes, coffee shops, and libraries are often overrun with workers who don't want to be at home or in the office. There is appetite for co-working spaces that are close to the places workers are already frequenting and enjoy spending extra time like they do at gyms. You're going to see the evolution of the model accommodate people who don't want to go into the office but still work closer to where they live, he says. Gyms as co-working spaces may not be such a heavy lift, pun intended, I guess. Many employees who have the option to work remotely are coming down from their work from home highs, and while they don't necessarily want to commute to the office, they crave the buzz of more social environments. Yeah, I imagine that if I was working remotely full time, so not hybrid, but working remotely from my home full time every day in and out, maybe I would want a little place that was quiet enough to focus, but also busy enough to not feel isolated and a part of and away from society in general. So I do see why people do this, why they would be interested in like a gym area and a working area environment altogether. But it just, I never thought of that. It seems interesting. Let me know what you think. What do you think about this idea so far? Another person says the monthly cost of her Lifetime Gyms co-working space allowed her to grow her business, which she began with $475 a month for one desk in 2020. So yes, I know during 2020, which was during the pandemic, people did actually find little office spaces to work from. The total cost of her space now, which includes an office and several desks clustered around it, is $4,000 a month. So obviously from 2020 to 2023, she's expanded her business and probably now has other employees. So she's essentially also paying a rent fee for her business environment or business location. So yeah, so someone says, I get to offer an extra perk. If you work for me, you'll have access to an amazing gym. That's a big deal. You know what? I wouldn't mind doing that. That is like an added benefit. So I can see why that would be enticing to a new coworker or a new employee to have this environment where you're working, but then you also have a gym. Like my company right now does have a gym on the first floor. Now, do I go there? No. Do I have access to it? Yes. But do I go there and actually use it? Unfortunately, no. But I do walk around outside. I prefer walking out in nature, hearing, the birds chirp, hearing the wind blowing, feeling the breeze of the wind. I prefer the more outdoor environment than like the indoor environment when I'm working in the office. It's a good break from just being indoors all the time, and gives you that vitamin D as well. But yeah, I thought this was a really interesting article, and I encourage you all to read all of it. It's pretty lengthy, but I also want to share some fun comments from the comments section. So if you're still here, make sure that you like this video, comment, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Also consider joining the channel if you want as well for exclusive benefits. So someone says, I could get into this. I would get a few hours of writing or research done before working out. So the need to shower would not be mandatory. There is a discouragement factor in having to go from place to place, particularly with the weather being erratic. So yes, if it rains, if it's thunderstorming, it would be nice to just go to that one place, get your workout in, shower, change clothes, go across the floor or go downstairs, upstairs, and finish the rest of your day without having to worry about the harsh weather conditions. I can see that too. Someone else says $400 a month, more expensive than a YMCA membership. Yes, so typically YMCA memberships are, I really don't know. I haven't had one, but I think they're about maybe $50 to $75. You all correct me. Let me know in the comments how much a typical YMCA membership is. But they also say, should we also reference the perennial Wall Street Journal articles on how Americans don't save enough for retirement? If one wants to get out of the house to work with the background activity, try a coffee shop or Panera Bread with its unlimited sips membership. So yeah, I know people typically go to Starbucks, Panera Bread, or just go to their local coffee shop, find a nice table area to sit at, and work from there. A lot of entrepreneurs, people who are in the startup phase of their career or the business, they just found a restaurant, a coffee shop to go to, and you still get the buzz of all the traffic going in and out, the sounds of all the coffee and food being made, coworkers talking in the background. So I think Jonathan here has a point. And then this person says, the concept has been here before, 20 years ago. It was called Starbucks. The perk was fresh coffee and not so fresh muffins. It was cool to have meetings there in a casual yet bustling environment. But then it got too crowded. The bathrooms deteriorated and it was hard to be productive. Then came WeWork. So, yep, they do also share that Starbucks was pretty much that place where you could do that. Then I saw another fun comment down here. Somebody just says, I'm sorry, but this idea is ridiculous. And clearly 4 other people agreed with them. But there was one funny comment. More money than sense. Just wait until someone accidentally walks away from their computer, only to discover that corporate theft can occur right before your eyes. So yes, there is a risk in working in a third party or, another non-office or non-home environment, of course. But I'm sure people are already doing that, right? Like people are already going to they may be on vacations, they may be at a friend's house, they may be at a parent's house, they may be at Starbucks, Panera Bread, already working from from that place. And yes, when you go to take a break, walk outside, use the facilities, of course, someone can definitely steal your things. So that is something to consider. And I think that those gyms should consider that liability, or maybe have a liability waiver if they still want to offer that. Someone says this 25-year-old audit project manager must be making a very solid income to have the funds to pay $500 a month for this privilege. I will say $500 a month is like another rent, another piece of rent. That is a lot of money. But I mean, from what I hear, I think typical gym memberships are expensive as well already. And this is the comment that I was talking about. Somebody said, "Is it April Fool's Day? Go to your office, interact with coworkers, learn from the more experienced, teach the less experienced, get opportunities just by hanging around the hoop." And I think they're referring to like the water cooler area or the break room. Get up and move around, walk up and down the steps. Geez. One of my coworkers has an Apple Watch, and he sets his watch, or I guess his watch already tells him when to get up, when to have motion, when to walk around, when to take a break, when to rest his eyes. So yeah, you can still be in the office and still have that flexibility of taking a break or having social activity. But for some people, what if you don't have that office? Or what if your home, you're sharing with roommates, or you're sharing with siblings or your parents, and you just need another space? So I can see both sides. But yeah, this was the article that I wanted to share with you all. Working from the gym, the hottest new office is the gym. Let me know your thoughts on that new fad. And then, of course, we know that the inflationary environment and economic background right now is very high. And so everyone's wondering, okay, well, are interest rates going to go higher? Are they going to finally be lowered a little bit? Are we going to remain stagnant for a while? But CNBC says that the federal chair, Powell, calls inflation too high and warns that we are prepared to raise rates further. Wow. I mean, these interest rates have had a tremendous impact on companies' hiring activities, people's day-to-day livelihoods. So I thought this was interesting. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell on Friday called for more vigilance in the fight against inflation, warning that additional interest rate increases could be yet to come. While acknowledging that progress has been made and saying that the Fed will be careful in where it goes from here, the central bank leader said inflation is still above where policymakers feel comfortable. He noted that the Fed will remain flexible as it contemplates further moves, but gave little indication that it's ready to start easing anytime soon. So it sounds like he's still not satisfied with the way the economy is and the way inflation is. And so these interest rates could very well increase. Let's look at more here. But inflation was running well ahead of its current pace back then. Regardless, Powell indicated it is too soon to declare victory, even with data this summer running largely in the Fed's favor. The months June and July both saw easing in the pace of price increases, with core inflation up 0.2% for each month. The lower monthly readings for core inflation in June and July were welcome, but 2 months of good data are only the beginning of what it will take to build confidence that inflation is moving sustainably toward our goals. So it looks like he's interested in more of a long-term indication that interest rates or that inflation will dwindle or at least become stagnant and become a more constant stagflation phase. So yeah, I thought this was interesting. And here Powell is indicating a need to proceed carefully. There have been 11 interest rate hikes that have pushed the Fed's key interest rate to a target range of 5.25% to 5.5%, the highest level in more than 22 years. Yeah, this inflationary period is unlike any that many in my generation have seen. If you're 20 something or 30 something, then you're not used to these high interest rates, especially just coming from COVID, of course, in 2020. Interest rates were almost at their historical lows in America. So, yeah, I wanted to share this with you all. I thought those were two very interesting topics that I wanted to share and wanted to get your thoughts on. So, remember, like this video if you enjoyed the commentary, comment what you think about those two articles, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, please join as well. As always, stay blessed and stay boss. See.